Have you ever stepped on a nail? Have you ever been burned by the sun or a hot stove? When you were a kid, did you ever scrape your knees? At some point in your life, has your skin been broken? Unless you've lived your life in a padded room, that answer is most likely yes. If you've ever been to the doctor as a result of one of these injuries, you've likely been asked several questions such as, how did this happen? When did this happen? When was your last tetanus shot? But what is tetanus? What people know about tetanus is that it's a bacteria that lives in dirt and on rusty nails, and it can cause your jaw to lock up. If you've ever heard of a disease called lockjaw, this is the same disease. I think tetanus is a very fascinating but gruesome disease. My name is Julia Abel. I am a nursing student, and I work in the ER as an ER technician. Today, I will be telling you about tetanus and how it affects our body and how it is treated. So the bacteria that causes tetanus is called Clostridium tetani. According to Bay and Bourget of 2022 by the National Library of Medicine, it is a spore-forming bacteria. What that means is that when it is in an inhospitable environment, it will form nearly indestructible spores that you can think of as little bacteria seeds. It also produces two exotoxins. One exotoxin, tetralysin, destroys tissue to help establish infection. The other toxin, which is tetanospasm, is the tetanus toxin, which will be explained shortly. So these spores enter the body via contamination of a wound with contaminated soil or animal feces or animal bites. Now we know a little bit about C. tetani. Once the spores have invaded the body and established an infection, how do the toxins affect the body? There are several different kinds of tetanus. I will be focusing on generalized tetanus as it is the most common form. The tetanus toxin is a neurotoxin that inhibits neurotransmitters that allow our bodies to relax our muscles. So when you are infected with this disease, the toxin causes your muscles to contract and spasm. So patients get tetany, which is a condition where your muscles contract and you cannot control them. And so why is it so dangerous? Muscle spasms and contractions sound very bad, but how dangerous could it really be? Well, you have a muscle underneath your lungs called your diaphragm. It allows you to breathe in and out. You also have many muscles around your neck and your chest, which allow you to breathe. If these muscles were to be constricted and paralyzed, you would no longer be able to breathe and you would suffocate. Your muscles are also much stronger than you realize. As a result of the tetanus infection, many people have broken their bones as a result of these spasms. According to Wilson et al. 2011, one man fractured his L2 vertebrae, resulting in him unable to move or feel his legs. Tetanus is a scary, very scary, literal living nightmare. But there are treatments that can help. According to the CDC, Cherwani et al. 2021 and Bay and Bourget 2022, there are several ways that you can help fight tetanus, such as with vaccination, wound cleansing, medications, and supportive measures. If you have gotten tetanus vaccine within the last 10 years or shortly after an injury, that will help your immune system fight off the bacteria. If you were to physically clean out your wound after you've sustained the injury, that will remove the bacteria and prevent an infection from ever occurring. After the disease has taken place, you can also take medications such as metronidazole, which is an antibiotic which will kill the bacteria, and TIG immunoglobulin, which will clear out unbound tetanus toxin. Should you need it, there are supportive measures such as mechanical ventilation, which will help you breathe if your respiratory muscles have been paralyzed, and baclofen, which is a muscle relaxant for these muscle spasms. Tetanus is a very scary but very fascinating disease. I hope you brought more understanding of tetanus and how it affects our bodies as well as how it is treated. To summarize, it is a bacteria that forms nearly indestructible spores that infects our bodies via dirty wounds and produces a toxin that prevents our bodies from relaxing our muscles. I hope my speech has not scared anybody too much. However, I hope my speech does come to mind as well as your last vaccination date the next time you get a cut. Thank you for your time.